Oh yeah, just like that, we back, everybody. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Ugh. Smash the like button. I don't know what's up with YouTube not sending notifications. This is what we have to go through as creators, where a percentile of your audience, 5% may get the notification and the others don't. So they just have to be, online. But there's a conference call. I'm gonna see how this stream goes. But there's only one time. I don't know if y'all want me to jump on that. We'll see how the chat goes. But that's coming up. So this is not going to be a long stream. That's coming up in 45 minutes. So you got the GOAT right now. Let's talk. I just got to talk about it. We're going to skip the intro and all that. What's good, Ego? In chat, what's up? Listen, I'm going to jump right into it. If you late to class, then you late to class. The show must go on. Anthony Joshua, I see his MO, bro, and it's pretty sad. You look at Anthony Joshua, he was the prominent name in the division. This was the guy that had all the ball in his court. He had all the marbles, and he was the A side in the heavyweight division, and he made sure people knew that. And now he's flipped and switched up his whole demeanor after he took a loss. For example, Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn would not stop talking about certain things regarding Joshua's career. They would not stop talking about his belts, right? They're saying, oh, yeah, I got most belts in the division. I unified with this guy. I fought Parker. I fought Klitschko, and they were doing this whole charade. And then after he lost the belts, then Joshua became a new man and acted like, oh, yeah, a belt doesn't define me. It's not just about belts. It's about integrity. Like, what? You just spent the better part of the last few years talking about how you have a belt, and now it's not about the belts. It's just the double talk from the UK particularly, and old media, and Eddie Hearn, and Rematch Room, and Anthony Joshua is next level. Like, it really is. And you have to be, have the brain size, the size of a stegosaurus to not realize it, Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful day in Cali. We feeling good, feeling great. Yeah, it's easy to see. This is not like you don't have to even do like deep sea diving for this stuff. The contradictions are very flagrant. They're very apparent. And now all of a sudden, things that we knew to be issues or obstacles or the case, now all of a sudden AJ is vocal. Like, it's same song and dance. It's the same song and dance. Like, how are you the most vocal when Wilder and Fury are booked up? Now you vocal about fighting both of these guys. Come on, bro. Where they do that at? Listen to me. When Tyson Fury is free, and definitely when Wilder's free, it's like, oh, I'm not chasing them. Why should I mention them? I have most belts. And, it's these types of statements. And then now when they're about to fight, all of a sudden you happy on the trigger. You trigger happy to keep mentioning their name. That's clout chasing. Where I'm from, that's clout chasing. Because when it was relevant, when you could have been Tyson Fury. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't have been worried about Wilder Fury 2 or necessarily Wilder Fury 1 if Joshua stepped up to the plate in 2018. But he didn't. Him and his team chose to pussyfoot and beat around the bush and not get the fight done because they're like, oh, we have all the leverage and, we'll make Wilder bow down to our knees. And realistically, this is what I honestly believe. Yeah, the real is back. The real is cat, the real is back. This is what I honestly believe. Eddie Hearn and Joshua were afraid. Like, not from the sense of like, oh, Joshua, he's a fighter, so he's not necessarily afraid like that, but he's afraid of it all coming crashing and crumbling down. You know what I'm saying? And for Eddie Hearn, he was afraid to make the fight because he didn't want Joshua to lose. They had built this gravy train. The UK had been more relevant than they've ever been in recent history, and they didn't want a person with the attitude, the style, etc. of the style of a Deontay Wilder to have that come to a crashing, screeching halt. You see what I'm saying? Because it would have been ugly. You built all this just to lose to an American. You know, we've seen this time and time again. I'm not saying there's no UK fighters that have that haven't beat American guys, but same thing with like Kell Brook. What happened to Kell Brook after he lost to Errol Spence? Exactly. So they didn't want Eddie Hearn. Like, if you look at this, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to the paradigm. Like, y'all got to smash the like button. Listen. If you really think about it, the way Eddie Hearn managed Kell Brook is virtually exactly what he's done to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is Kell Brook 2.0. So basically, you know, I had me fight with a man, I'm a chocolate brownie. Bro, it's the same career, right? Kell Brook got taunted for not fighting anybody. Then, you know, struggling with Carson Jones, Carson Daly, whatever dude's name is, you know. Then he came back and beat him better. So we had to do rematches and stuff, rematch room, you know. And then he fought the dude that beat Ricky Hatton out of retirement, Vlezchenko or whatever, the one that Paulie Malignaggi fought. He finally steps up to who we consider a world-class welterweight in Sean Porter and beats him. And everyone's like, okay, he came over to America. He beat Sean Porter. Sean Porter had beaten Devin Alexander at the time. I believe Paulie Malignaggi, he had already beat him too. So everybody was like, okay, cool. Kell Brook is real. He's dope. But then he got stabbed. You know, something happened. He got stabbed in the leg. And then he took a tune-up. We let that slide. Okay, you fighting Casey and JoJo. Hooray! You fighting JoJo Dan. But then even after he found out his leg was good, his mobility was back, he could use his legs, he looked like the same fighter, he still kept fighting that. Frankie Gavin. Ain't nobody asked for that. That's that Eddie Hearn rematch room special. Why would you fight Frankie Gavin, bro? He lost to Leonard Bundu, who Keith Thurman beat and Errol Spence slept. That didn't prove nothing. Right? So Kell Brook was rumored to fight some bigger names at that time, like Devin Alexander, Brandon Rios, and Diego Chavez. Kell Brook, all those fights fell apart. Injury pullouts. You know, this guy wanted, you know, different gloves. None of them happened. So Kell Brook versus Brandon Rios at the time would have been a fun fight. Didn't happen. Diego Chavez, that would have been a good fight. Didn't happen. Devin Alexander, they tried to fight Devin Alexander 5 times. Kell Brook pulled out like 3 times, and Devin Alexander pulled out like twice from injuries and stuff. So it's just like, wow. And then he was supposed to fight Diego Chavez. Then somebody got injured, and then Kell Brook fought Kevin Bezier. Right? So out of nowhere, with the very lackluster last few fights, right? Kell Brook decides to fight Gennady fucking Golovkin, who is solid and definitely a big puncher when you're coming up from 47. He was hurting actual middleweights. That was stupid. So people wanted Kell Brook to step up, but they didn't say you had to step up out the division. We just wanted to see you fight Sean Porter in a rematch, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Pacquiao, Floyd, you know, any of them guys, anybody, Broner. You didn't have to step up to 160. When people want you to step up, they talk about usually in your division, not step up 2 weight classes above where you at. You know what I mean? So anyway, he did that dumb shit because Chris Eubank fight fell apart, and then you seen what happened. I got to go to work in Sydney. Shout out to Boxing Ego, keeping it real, and to Wilder, Knock It Out Fury, most def. Shout out to you. Enjoy your time in Sydney. So anyway, he moved up and fought Golovkin. Why would you do that, bro? That was stupid. That just made no sense. Then he fought Errol Spence because the pressure from new media and Errol Spence was too heavy, so he couldn't, because it would look like a clear duck, which is what it would have been if he didn't fight him. So then he took 2 L's like Cool J, because the Golovkin shit was just dumb, and then Errol Spence, you got beat by him too because you were pressured to fight him. And then you ain't heard from Kell Brook much since. He had a couple pullouts. He fought 3 nobodies, like no-name guys. You feel what I'm saying? This is the Anthony Joshua way. Step up one time and then fall back in line with rematch room specials, and then eventually, fight a big name, bro. It's ridiculous. Like, all the title defenses Joshua had, they keep talking about his resume. His resume could and should be better, to be honest, because he's the A side. See, like Errol Spence, he had to work. He wasn't necessarily early on. He wasn't the A side, so he couldn't just get whatever fight he wanted. You feel what I'm saying? He couldn't just handpick guys and say, hey, and make them a legit deal and get the fights. Maybe now, but eventually, or before, he couldn't. Joshua has been in that position for a minute, where he was commanding the audience in the UK, selling out O2 Arena. So he could have been picked Luis Ortiz or something like that. But he didn't fight nobody like that. He fought what they felt were decent names on paper, but you knew the way the fight was going to play out, like Parker and Povetkin. Did anyone really believe those guys were going to beat Joshua at the points in which they faced him in Joshua's backyard? Man, get out of here, bro. Like, now, if Joshua fought Luis Ortiz, it don't matter if they fought in the UK. That would be a tough fight for him. Luis Ortiz could absolutely potentially beat Joshua in the UK, because it might not even go to scorecards. But they're not fighting nobody like that. The game is exposed. We see on this side of the pond what it is. Sad. So anyway, fast forward to the future. Wilder's popping. He has a popping fight with Fury. They're doing a great job of promoting it. And ain't nobody even talking about Joshua. While I was on the conference call with Deontay Wilder, and he basically said what I said. Ain't nobody worried about. He said Joshua's out the picture. Ain't nobody worried about him. And he's pretty much right. Ain't nobody talking about, I don't know about you UK British teeth motherfuckers. Yeah, check bang. I don't know about y'all, but around here, nobody really even worried about Joshua like that right now. I ain't see, like, I talk about all things boxing, but I ain't even really seen nobody talk about Joshua. I really haven't. Like, when's the last Joshua video? And then when people are talking about Joshua, Fox Sports Go or ESPN. I mean,